Pepper's out in front now. Ginger takes over because of the hurdle, but Hoshi's in second here. Oh, that's water, and they've stopped immediately. And Hoshi's the first to come to his senses, and he sets off. Ginger's the second one as well. But it's Smalls, Ginger, and Pepper at the front here. But now it's just Ginger and Smalls as they get to the water. But all of them stop apart from Piggy Smalls, who drives forward. In particular gets a good start, but Piggy Smalls catches up with her. And then Pepper stumbles and now falls back. So it's Piggy Smalls and Ginger for the win here. But Piggy Smalls is just a stout ahead of Ginger. Hello and welcome to League of Pigs, and just look at the points as we head into round 2. Piggy Smalls is on top of the pile at 53 points, but Hoshi and Ginger are not far off his pace. It's only Bear and Pepper that need to overcome their fear of the water in round 2, or they'll be discounted out of this season. But for now, let's just head straight over to the first race of the round. The first race of the round begins. You can see that Ginger's also been handicapped with Smalls there, and she's got a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, Hoshi has just overtaken Pepper as he reaches the water. He doesn't hesitate once. In fact, he powers through pretty quickly there, and it looks like he's going to do a good time, and he does. It's a course record for the water obstacle at 11:80, and that might take some beating, actually, because he did not stop the whole way down. No hesitation, and he drove straight through that water. But there is another honourable mention here. Ginger and Smalls did very well from so far back to get second and third. Look at them as they get to the water. None of them hesitate apart from Bear. Even Pepper gives it a go, in fairness. Bear is still at a standstill with this water, but the rest of them seem okay. What a way to start round 2. We join the pigs on their way to an appointment between races, and this highlights some of the challenges we have here at the league. First of all, the pigs are notoriously bad timekeepers, and second of all, they have a real aversion to a linear direction, and it's not uncommon for them to switch back on themselves or zigzag down a lane. And this means that the rule of thumb at the league is to schedule twice the amount of time you originally think it's going to take. Anyway, let's head over to the second race. There's a malfunction with the pin, but that doesn't stop the pigs from getting great starts, and Pepper's out in front as she normally is here. But as she approaches the first hurdle, Hoshi takes over, and so does Piggy Smalls. In fact, Piggy Smalls on the near side is really starting to hammer down the speed, and that's got him the win there at 10:96. And it's a very, very good performance from Piggy Smalls. Hoshi was on his tail the whole way. In fact, Hoshi was out in front towards the start of that race. Ginger makes sure again she's on podium. She's not losing too many points there, but she'll be wanting to do better on these big hurdles. Hoshi was right out in front, but then between the first and second hurdle, Piggy Smalls really puts down the gas and puts himself ahead, and then he does a great clean finish on that second hurdle, and that seals it for him. We're back with Hoshi, who's at his favourite place in the paddock, which is by the rocks, looking for different vegetation. And some viewers at home might think it's a bit irresponsible of the cameraman not to warn Hoshi of the incoming nettles. But that's because Hoshi actually doesn't mind the nettles at all. In fact, none of the pigs mind the nettles. Pigs in general are very tough. They've got thick hides and they don't feel stings the same way humans do. And that means that the pigs can often get into places where the humans working at the league can't. Let's head over to the next race. The door drops and everybody's in a rush to get out quickly here, but Pepper gets the best start, but now Ginger takes over. Piggy Smalls was a bit trapped on the near side, but he's got a bit more space. Now Ginger hesitates, and that gives Piggy Smalls a chance here, and it looks like he's going to wrap it up because Ginger's quite far behind, and so is Hoshi, and Piggy Smalls gets yet another win in this round, and he's really starting to tally up. Ginger did do well once she fell back here to take that second position off Hoshi. She's got such a strong finish that she manages to try and stem some of the losses, but look, as they go into that water, Ginger missteps, and it allows the boys that bit of breathing room just to get ahead of her as they're leaving the water, and she has a huge effort to collect anything after that. Piggy Smalls is really having a field day now as Ginger seems uncomfortable. The League of Pigs champion Pepper Sanchez spoke out on the YouTube call to action today. She was just happy that anyone was watching. She wasn't even that bothered if you subscribed or not. So that's very forgiving from Pepper Sanchez. I don't know if the league shares her same thoughts, but it's sweet that she has such a sentiment with it. Pepper's not really found her footing in Season 4, and that's probably because of the water obstacles have come in, as well as the high hurdles again, and that doesn't really suit her strength. Oh, and Hoshi's come crashing into Pepper there, and it looks like Piggy Smalls and Hoshi have had a fight, and poor Pepper's the loser out of that. Race 4 begins, and it begins with a scramble, and Ginger and Smalls are behind because of the handicap, but Pepper's out in front here, and Bear catches up with her, but Ginger is coming at a frightening rate right now, and she enters the water with the rest of them, and then leaves it with just Hoshi ahead, and as she comes to the line, she takes it, and what an absolutely brilliant performance from the Brit, and it's a performance that is so beyond the rest of them in this competition at this stage, that I think it's riled the rest of them up. What a race 4 we've had. It just changes the tone. She's so far behind with Piggy Smalls, and she rockets forward, making the others look stationary. Only Hoshi puts any kind of resistance up, but he's no match for her in the last quarter, and she is showing the others this is her round. I think Ginger's last performance has tipped Bear over the edge as she leaves the paddock and goes exploring in the garden. But with that said, Bear always likes exploring regardless of the time of day. She loves the change of scenery and is often found in the nearby woods or the field behind the racing paddock, and so the league always has to keep a close eye on Bear, especially on race days. Let's head over to race 5. The pin's pulled and everyone gets a quick start this time, but it's Ginger and Pepper at the front, but Ginger starts to pull forward and she's continuing her performance from race 4. It looks like no, she hesitates and Piggy Smalls takes advantage, putting himself in front, and he's holding that as well, but Ginger starts to sprint back. I think Piggy Smalls got that. Did he? Yes, Piggy Smalls gets the win, and he's just capitalising on Ginger taking a few moments to get into the water on many occasions. Hello, Bear. And it's just costing Ginger those 3 points unnecessarily, really, because she's so strong in every other area. You can see this is the moment where Piggy Smalls takes advantage. He jumps over. Hoshi catches up with her as well, but not enough. The competition between Piggy Smalls and Ginger is on a knife edge in this round. It's no secret that Ginger is a big deal at the league, and so she enjoys many luxuries, but even with all that power and influence that Ginger has, ripping up the paddock in such aggressive fashion right in front of the cameraman is a real display of defiance. And if she's not careful, she's going to run into a whole load of trouble with the owner of the racetrack, who is not part of the League of Pigs. The race begins and Pepper and Bear get especially good starts, but Hoshi's on their tail as well, but Pepper drops back and it's all Bear's now, and she's pretty good over these 8-inch hurdles, so it should be clear, and it is clear for Bear, and she wins the race. She hasn't won many this season, but she's won more than the previous one, at least that's the case. Also, overall for this round and for this season, I don't think it's going to change that much at all. In fact, she hasn't overtaken Pepper even in this round, but it is nice to see Bear win an odd race, and it just shows that she can be quick if she wants to be. Piggy Smalls is also another offender when it comes to digging up the paddock, and he's very good at destroying large areas of pasture, which again isn't going down well with the owner of the paddock. Although aside from that, he's doing excellent in the races, so the USA is not going to really complain much about him at the moment. Let's see if he can finish the round off strong. And the final race begins, and all of them get solid starts apart from Bear, who's dropping off the back here, but Piggy Smalls moves forward and so does Ginger. Either one of them can win the round with this victory, and it's looking like it's going to be Ginger's, and it is Ginger's. Ginger wins round 2, and she puts herself on the map for this season. Yet another season where she's a real strong candidate. I will say that both Piggy Smalls and Ginger have done fantastically well in this round, especially considering that they were handicapped for a few races as well. But Ginger will be absolutely over the moon. There was no water to slow her down this time, and she took full advantage of that. Well, we've come to the end of round 2, and if you look at the overall standings, not much has actually changed. Why is that? Well, Ginger did win the round, but there was only 3 points separating Smalls, Hoshi and Ginger, and so not much really changed in the overall standings. That said, we know that round 3 is always a critical round for the eventual winner of the season. So please join us back here for round 3. And if you enjoyed the league, please consider subscribing, even hitting the notification bell, because it really helps us out.